Living on as little money as possible from month to month seems to be a challenge that more and more people are taking up. One of these challenges is to live on $1 a day. So we wanted to find out if it's really possible to survive on $1 a day. We'll share the answer in this video. To answer this question the best way possible, it's important to explore both how to survive on $1 a day and how it may be difficult, as your situation will largely dictate if it's possible. And even if you can't survive on $1 a day, many of these tips and tricks can be used to significantly reduce the amount you spend every day, helping you practice extreme frugality and save money. Number 1. Eat foods that are nutrient-dense and low in cost. There are a few major food groups that you can purchase at a relatively low cost, which can allow you to survive for very little every single day. Some of these foods are beans, rice, oats, potatoes, and other fresh fruits and vegetables. For example, a no-name can of black beans at Walmart costs 78 cents and according to the package has about 3.5 servings per can. That means you'd be spending about 22 cents per meal, which is an excellent start considering food is the most major expense. However, the sad reality is that most food will cost more than $1 a day to eat, and if you decide to stick to low-cost foods, you'll have a very boring and repetitive diet. Number 2, figure out where to source your food. Since food is one of the major places that we spend every single day, it's the best place to focus on reducing the amount you spend to survive under $1 a day. With that in mind, figuring out where you buy your food can have a major impact on how easily you can do this. For example, if you like buying your groceries at Whole Foods, then the chances of you surviving at $1 a day will be impossible. However, if you buy your groceries from discount grocers, then it becomes more of a reality. These are the necessary switches you need to make for frugal living. Bonus tip, depending on your situation, you can use food banks, soup kitchens, and other free meal programs. However, it's important to remember that these places are designed for people who actually don't have enough money for food, instead of just trying to be frugal and save. So you can use the food bank to really practice extreme frugality, but it's inconsiderate to use it long-term for yourself if you don't need to. Number 3, walk or bike to get around. This one is going to be very dependent on your living conditions, but if you can completely avoid using your car and walk, run, or bike to work, you can effectively cut your transportation costs entirely. This is especially the case if you have important stores near you, like groceries, making it possible to walk to purchase them. Unfortunately, this is the only way to reduce transportation costs. Public transportation is typically cheaper than driving, but it's always more than $1 a day. Not to mention that many people don't have access to reliable public transportation, and their work is very far from their homes. Also, the weather may make it impossible to walk or bike, like if you're further north and get a bunch of snow and very cold weather. Number 4, find as much free entertainment as possible. Fortunately, there are tons of free entertainment options available in all sorts of areas. For example, if you're interested in gaming, there are several amazing free games for the computer that you can play through apps like Steam, or even just download some free games on your mobile. This is a great way to pass time without having to spend. Another option is to use YouTube and completely avoid using streaming services. However, you can get away with paying for subscription services and survive on $1 a day, but you'll have to be very strict with other more important aspects of your life. Speaking of YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to Investors Weekly for more videos on frugal living, minimalism, and personal finance. And if you're enjoying the video, give it a thumbs up. Number 5, exchange services instead of money. When looking for ways to reduce your spending and practice frugal living, it's good to take a look in the past, specifically to trade goods and services as opposed to paying money. When my partner and I were looking to get another sink installed, her dad kindly did the project for us, and instead of paying extra, he simply asked if we could trade bread and homemade pizza instead. You can really take bartering and service exchanges very far if you're looking to live on $1 a day. But it can only really happen if you have a reliable community around you that you can trade with. Another instance of exchanging service is if you live near someone with a farm. In this case, you could trade your own work services in exchange for shelter and food. You'll likely end up with the freshest vegetables, eggs, and even livestock that you've ever had in your life. In fact, there's a service called Woof that's specifically designed for connecting people interested in exchanging work for shelter and food on farms. If you're interested in this, check it out. Looking at the pros and cons, living at $1 a day is not an easy task. But the truth is that it's possible, but under very specific circumstances. However, it's not something that can be easily maintained for an extended period of time, and nor should it be, as it can significantly lower the quality of your life. Despite this, it's a great challenge for anyone interested, and it can really help you see how far you can push the amount you spend every month and how much more you can save.